Yeah, I've only lived down in Vancouver on my life, but I deal with enough rain right now. I don't want to deal with it for the rest of my life.
Okay. Listen up, please. If I asked you to draw this, 2 times 3. There's no letters, right? How would you draw that? 1, 2, right? And then what would be on the other side? 1, 2, 3, yeah? And what would be in the middle? 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1, right? And then 1 times 1, 1 times 1, 1 times 1. And where does the answer live when we draw it out this way?
Bottom right.
Lives right in here, right? Now you all already knew that that answer was 6, yeah? So this equals 6, cool? And that's how you were taught multiplying by Mrs. Bad Crumble back in the day, right?
Well, back in the day.
She drew a rectangle, but she probably drew 6 apples or 6 circles or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in grade 9, we add variables, right? So if I asked you to draw 2D times 3D, what would the rectangle look like? What would be down the side? It wouldn't be 2, it would be 2 what?
D.
How do we draw a D?
Just a letter.
No. How do we draw a single variable? We've been doing this to death, guys. There's only 3 kinds of blocks, guys. You know it's not this one, because this one's just plain number. What is it? The bar. So, we would draw 2 of them like that, right? What would be on the other side? 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then what would we get in the middle? I'd get this bar, right? But it wouldn't be that wide, would it?
No.
Because it would stretch out that far, right? And how many of them would I have? 3 there. 3 there. The answer lives in the middle. What is it? 6 D squared, because now they're big guys, right?
Oh.
So you all know how to do it, yeah? If we were going to draw it, right? Okay, so let's draw. We're just going to draw 1. Well, we're going to draw 1 together, and then you're going to draw a couple. So each side of the rectangle is what we call a factor, all right? So back in grade 3, when Mrs. Bad Crumble was teaching you to multiply 2 by 4, split that in 2, split that in 4, 2 by 4 was 8, right? 2 and 4 are called factors, which is anything we multiply together, okay? It doesn't matter what it is, right? So in this case, how many factors do we have? 2, because we have 3e. Even though that's 2 things, it's still only one, it's grouped together as a monomial, right? So this guy is factor 1, and this guy is factor 2, right?
Oh.
Now, where do the factors live on those multiply rectangles that Mrs. Bad Crumble used to use? Do the factors live on the sides or in the middle? On the sides, right? So if they lived on the sides in grade 3, do they live on the sides in grade 9? Of course they do, because math's always the same, right? So one side of this rectangle has to be 3e. How do I draw it? Yep. 3 bars. Are they colored or not? No. What's the other side of the rectangle? 4e. Colored or not? Not. And what else? How do I draw negative 2? 2 little guys. Colored, right? Okay. Well, we know how to multiply this. It's going to be that bar, but then what? It stretches out because it's got to go this whole width, right?
Yeah.
So I got, how many of them?
4.
4. Then I got 4 more. Then I got 4 more, right? Now, I got this bar. How wide does he stretch? Just that wide, right?
Yeah.
So I got this bar. But what wins? Not shaded or shaded?
Not shaded.
Not shaded wins? Shaded wins. Two different signs make a negative, don't they?
Yeah.
So shaded in wins. How many of them do I have?
2. 6 now.
So where does the answer live? In the middle. So what is that?
That is 4 plus negative 2.
1, 2, 3. 4, 8, 12. 12 what? E squareds minus 2, 4, 6. 6 e's. Everybody got it? Great. Do it twice on your own. I'll help you out. That is factor 1. That is factor 2. In this one, that is factor 1. That is factor 2. Remember, the rectangle looks like this. Factor 1, however you draw it. Factor 2, however you draw it. Answer in the middle. So everyone should be able to draw those. It's exactly like what you just did. As a matter of fact, those are the 2 questions you just did. It's just going to look a little different, isn't it? We've already done 2D and 3D. This one is 2F and 4F. So you should be able to handle it. Alrighty. What does the factor 1 side of this rectangle look like?
2.
2 what?
F.
Colored or not? Not, because they're positive. What does the factor 2 side look like?
4.
4
Bars.
bars, also not shaded. What's the middle look like?
4 big squares.
4 big squares there, and then
Screen crash.
four more big squares. So what's my answer? 8f squared. Right? Okay. In this one, what does factor 1 side look like? 3. 3 what? 3 bars. 1, 2, 3. What does factor 2 side look like?
2 bars.
2 bars negative, so we shade them. And then 4 little guys, not shaded. What wins, shaded or not?
Shaded.
Shaded wins, so this big guy must be shaded, right? I need 2 of them there. I need 2 of them there.
6.
And I need 2 of them there. These guys, do they change? No, because they're the same. I need 4 of them there, 4 of them there, 4 of them there. What's my answer?
12.
How many of these are there?
6.
So that's negative 6 what?
F squared.
M squared.
M.
And
Then 12 and
positive 12 m's. Is everybody good with drawing?
yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Let's move it along to do it real math style. Now, yesterday, to remind you, we did this. 3 times 2x plus 4. What did that mean?
3 goes into everything.
3 times 2 plus 3 times 4. And why did I not care about this x? Because there was no x in the front. So this answer would have been 6x, because the x didn't change, plus 12. Right? That's yesterday's work. We're all cool with that, right? Okay. So, look at this one. Does this look very similar to that? Yes. So is it mostly going to be the same thing? Yes. So we knew that this 3 went to this 2x, right? So we know this 3 is going to go to that 9, don't we? So we know this is going to equal 3 times 9, right? But you guys are smart kids. What do you see in this case? There's letters.
So it would be x squared.
We know from our drawing that it's going to be x squared, right?
Screen crash.
But we also know, I know, guys, but we also know, not just from our drawing, that it's going to be x squared. We also know
that the screen doesn't like us.
We also know from our last unit that x really has an exponent of 1, doesn't it? And this other x really has an exponent of 1, doesn't it? And aren't they the same base?
Yeah.
So what do I do with the exponents?
Put them together.
You add them. So I also have x times x. Cool?
Yeah.
So what is 3 times 9? 27. And x times x is x squared. And that 3 goes to the 4, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I have 3 times 4. Now, is there an x here?
No. It's a negative.
No x there. X there. So is x going to change?
No.
No, because I only have one x, don't I? So this is going to be minus 12x. Just like we did in our drawing 2 seconds ago. Is everyone okay with that? Yes. It's exactly the same thing. It just puts the last 2 units together, doesn't it?
Oh.
It puts the exponent unit with the polynomial unit. Everybody cool? All right, so let's look at the next one. I've written it out because there's a negative in front. Right? But what I want you guys to do is explain each step. What did I do here? What do we call this when I bring the 6 to both of them? Starts with a D. No, it's not dividing. Distribute.
Distribute.
I distribute factor 1 to all of factor 2. Right? Right? Then I check. Do my x's change? And then I rewrite. Because this was a plus, wasn't it? So I kept it as a plus, but then 6 times negative 6 times positive 5 is negative 30. But math guys would never write plus negative 30, would they? Math guys write minus 30. Cool? It's nothing new, right? Absolutely nothing new this whole unit. It's just using what we already knew from the last unit. So let's look at the first one. Remember, over here I've got what you need to do, but you may not even need to look over here. Right? Some of you may even be able to cover up this right-hand side with your hand and see if you can do it. But if you can't, check it. That's what it's there for. Who would like to try the first one? Ethan. I do 7 times 4, which equals 28, but I also got to do x times x, which is 28x squared, right? Good. Then what? 7 times 5, positive 35, and x, because the x doesn't change. Nice job. That's the right answer. Did everybody get the right answer? Who bothered to try writing it down and didn't wait for me to write it down so you could get it? If you tried it, did you get the right answer? Good. Let's look at the next one. Is it any different?
No.
No, it's the exact same thing. Like all math is exactly the same. What is the number in front of that s, though? 1. So the first one is going to be what times what?
1 times 3s.
1 times negative 3 and?
S times s.
S times s. So what's that?
That would be
negative 3
s
squared. And then what's the next one?
That would be 1 times 4.
1 times 4 and
S.
just an s. So that's positive 4s. Everybody good there? Okay, let's look at C. Now C is a little weirder. What makes C weird?
It's a negative.
It's negative out in front, but does that change anything that we do?
No.
No. The first one is what? Negative 9 times
positive
4 and
r times r.
And r times r. What's negative 9 times positive 4? I can't do that in my head, Mr. Myers. I don't know my times tables well enough. So what do I do? Calculator. What is it?
Negative 36.
Negative 36 what?
R squared.
R squared. And then what's my next one?
9 times 5.
Negative 9 times negative 5, which is what?
45.
Positive 45. What? Why is there only one r there? Because 5 has no r's. Everybody with me? Yeah? Okay, are you ready to see a grade 10 one like that? No, don't turn that page. There's blank space there. You know what I'm going to do there. I'm going to see if you really understand it by giving you a grade 10 question.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
1 plus 1.
3x squared y times 2x plus 3y. Oh, Mr. Myers.
I get it.
Doesn't change a darn thing, does it, Stephen? What do you do with the first one?
That would be 3x.
3 times 2 and
X times x.
x squared times x and
x cubed.
And a y. Only one y, so there's no y there, right? What's 3 times 2? 6. What's this? X squared and one more.
X cubed.
X cubed. And does the y change? No. Plus What's this one?
That would be
3 times 3.
and then
X squared with nothing. And
y.
y.
Because there's no other y.
There's another y. It's right
I
there.
mean, there is another y.
So y. So what's 3 times 3? 9. X squared, because the x squared doesn't change because there's no x there.
And would you
And then what's y?
y squared?
Y squared.
Okay,
Grade 10 work.
I get it. That's pretty neat.
Right? Easy peasy, right? No different, is it? Guess what happens in grade 11?
Same thing.
Same thing, except we add some more letters, and some of those exponents become negative. So instead of doing 2 plus 2, you do 2 plus negative 3 to get negative 1. And then we teach you how to do that. It's all the same thing.
Seems pretty.
How much easier would math be if we didn't stop in grade 3 at the rectangle? Could you not have learned this in grade 3? Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So we're cool with multiply, right? Okay. Now turn the page, because now we're going to rock out on dividing. Now please notice I'm not even bothering with drawing anymore. I'm tired of drawing. You can all do it. Right? Right? So, when I multiplied, I remembered everything had to go to everything, right? So what's going to happen when I divide? Everything and everything, right?
Yeah.
What goes together? Letters and letters? Numbers and numbers? Or numbers and letters?
Numbers and numbers.
Numbers and numbers and letters and letters, right? So,
And that's fine.
I have what here? A letter and a number, don't I?
Yes. And
What's
then
my
and
number?
variable.
Negative 8. What's my letter? S squared. And I'm going to divide it by that. So, is there a letter and a number there?
Yes.
Great. So what goes with the 8? The negative 2 or the S?
Negative.
Negative 2. What goes with the S? S. What's negative 2 divided by negative 8?
2.
No.
4.
4. Positive or negative? Why? 2 signs the same. 4. What's S squared divided by S? Well, that would be S to the 1, wouldn't it? No, Stephen. What do I do when I divide? 1. 2 minus 1 is S, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's over here? 6S. Letter and a number. What does it divide by? Negative 2. Because the letters, the numbers go together. And negative 2, and the letters go together.
Yeah.
What's 6 divided by negative 2?
4.
Negative 3. S over S? It's 1, and we don't write 1, right? So there's your final answer.
12.
Can you believe how easy it is? That's how easy it is. Letters with letters, numbers with numbers. So what do I got here? What do I got in the numerator?
12.
I got 12, and I got a squared, right? What am I dividing that by?
6.
Negative 6. Where does the negative 6 go?
In the middle.
With the 12.
Oh.
Why?
Because the line in the
Numbers with numbers. Where does the a from the bottom go?
With the other.
With the a. What's the exponent there?
2.
1.
Oh, 1.
What's 12 divided by 6? 2.
2.
But negative 2. Negative 2. What's 2 minus 1? 1. Do we write 1 as an exponent? No. 2a. That's how easy it is. Crazy, hey? And people say math's difficult.
Wow.
Okay.
What?
What do I got there? I got a 9 and a b squared. What do I got there?
A 3 and a B.
A 3 and a b. What are they dividing by?
3B.
Where does the 3 go? Under the 9. Where does the b go?
Underneath the B.
Underneath the b. Where does the 3 go?
Underneath the
3. Where does the b go? Underneath the b. What's 9 divided by 3? 3. B squared divided by b. B to the 1. Now this is where it gets tricky. You just want to cross those out, don't you? But you can't, can you? Because if you cross them out, they disappear. And if they disappear, then what's the number that shows nothing? What number do we use to show nothing? 1 shows nothing?
0.
0. But this isn't 0, is it?
No, it's 1.
It's 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. B divided by B is 1.
Yes.
So it's got to be plus 1. That can be tricky,
Wow.
right? You got to remember that. That's not 0. Cool? All right. Now this is a really hard one because there's negatives all over the place. But does anything change?
No.
What's the numbers?
14 and 7.
Negative 14 over negative 7. Then what?
21.
C squared over C. Then what?
21.
21 over what? Negative 7 and C over C. Negative 14 divided by negative 7. Positive 2. C squared divided by C. C. 21 divided by 7. Negative 3. C divided by C. 1. Do we write it? No. Done.
Boom.
Now, you ready for the grade 10 question?
No.
That wasn't grade 10. I'm about to give you a grade 10 question. You ready for it? You ready for a grade 10 question? All right. 18 x cubed y to the 4th plus 16 x squared y squared divided by 2xy. But it isn't, is it?
It's fancy.
So what do I get?
8 divided by
18 over
2.
2. No, let's not do it that way. Let's write it all out. Then what? x3 over
Y.
over x, because the same letters go together, and y4 over
Y2.
y.
Oh,
Now do it. 18 divided by 2. 9. x3 divided by x.
2.
X squared. 4 divided by
1.
would be y cubed, correct? Okay, now let's do the next one. I got 16 over what? 2. X squared over x and y squared over y. 16 divided by 2? Positive 8. X squared divided by x? X to the 1. Do we write x to the 1? Nope. Y squared divided by y? Y to the 1. Do we write y to the 1? Just write the y. Grade 10. You guys are already halfway through your grade 10 unit on polynomials. Doing one more step that you already knew, didn't you? Because you already knew how exponents worked, right? You already know how division works. So is there any excuse that I shouldn't be giving you my grade 10 quiz when I give you a quiz on this? Of course not. Am I going to give you my grade 10 quiz? Of course not. Am I going to give you bonus questions? Is it going to be possible for you to get more than 100%? Yeah. Everybody good? Okay. Page 218. to 19. Starting at the word practice. Now, guys, listen, please. Well, you're going to start it right now. You've got 17 minutes. Listen. This is the last thing in the unit. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you a review. You're going to work on it in class after we do a warm-up and after we mark this. You're going to work on it in class. You're probably not going to get it done. That's why I'm giving you a review tomorrow. You'll have a 4-day weekend to finish up the 5 questions or whatever that you don't get done. Okay? Monday, we'll mark the review. We'll have your test on Tuesday because that's second block. Okay, so a week from today, you're writing a test on this warm-up that we did today, which is gone. Everything from today's warm-up. Drawing, adding, subtracting, collecting like terms, multiplying and dividing. Okay? Huh? Yeah, I won't put them on a test. They're just there to warm you guys up. Cool?
218 to 219.
218 to 219, starting at the page, starting at the word practice, which is halfway down the page on 218.